Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Mike Renick. A new business popping up on Independence Street will combine two unlikely activities under one roof: pickleball playing and car displays. Here to talk about the Pickleball Factory and Parc Motor Club is President of Operations Jeff Brune. Jeff,
Mike,
how we doing?
I'm great, man.
Well, you've been pretty busy. I've had the chance to stop in a few times at the location on Independence.
Right.
That used to be Thorngate, is that correct?
It was Thorngate,
Okay.
men's suit manufacturer.
Okay. And I know that you and the crew have done a ton of work to get the building ready.
It's been a 2 to 3 year project. But when you take a building that's from 1980 and an old warehouse, basically what we've done is built a 10,000 square foot house inside of a 64,000 square foot building.
Wow.
So it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it does.
And once you get in there, you'll see it. You'll understand how much we've had to do.
Well, I was lucky enough to be in there, I think it was a week and a half ago or so, and the courts are in. At least the playing surface was in, and I think fences were starting to get put up, and I mean, it just looks fantastic.
It's ready to go. I've played in there 3 times.
Did you win?
I did.
Okay.
Multiple times. No, we played multiple games. But last night, I think I went 5-1.
Very good.
So, but the court surfaces are incredible. Typically, people are just playing on straight concrete.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of courts around here definitely are just all concrete. So that adds up, as you play on your ankles, your knees, your back, the wear and tear is really bad on concrete. So we spent the extra money to put in these high-tech courts that are cushion courts. There's 7 layers of rubberized content and then 2 layers of acrylic paint. But when you play on them, you just don't get as fatigued as you normally do. The next day, you're not sore. I mean, I'm literally not sore at all today.
Wow.
And I played for 3 hours last night.
I also noticed cameras on each court, and there's 14 courts.
Correct, 14 indoor courts.
Okay.
The cameras are a cool thing too. You can use them in real time, so you can call in and out on people. We're playing, you're like, hey man, that was out. Let's check the camera. So you'll go to the camera, you can blow it up. So hopefully it's less fights than most places.
Yeah.
But then you can use it as a teaching tool. With AI, it breaks down your game, so it can take your 3 hours of game and you can segment it out and say, okay, I want to see all of my serves, I want to see all of my third shot drops, I want to see all of my returns. And so you can use that to send to a coach within their system, or if you have a coach locally, you can send that and say, hey, can you break down my game?
Well, that is amazing.
It's cool.
And I know you guys just announced a partnership. Tell us about that.
We did. It's exciting. The St. Louis Shock MLP team, Major League Pickleball team. So I said this yesterday in the press conference. This is like a business in Cape getting a partnership with the Kansas City Chiefs or the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. There's only 22 of these teams in the country, and the St. Louis Shock team is the only team that's individually owned by one family. It's the Chaffetz family. The other teams, they're owned by conglomerates of Tom Brady and Kevin Durant and Scotty Scheffler, the golfer. Those types of people own all these teams. And so it's a big deal for Cape that we're partnering with them. They're going to send players down to do clinics. We're going to have co-branded tournaments, that kind of stuff.
Wow. Okay, so I know you just opened up memberships, correct?
We did.
So this is a member-based facility. You can also pay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you think of it in golf terms, it's semi-private.
Okay.
And so that means anybody can play. If you come off the street, like you can rent courts.
Okay.
But if you play a lot, it makes more financial sense to be a member.
Sure.
Like our Tip Top membership, you don't get nickel and dimed with additional court fees or anything like that. So. We sold 100 memberships, 100 founding memberships in 3 days.
Wow.
So the demand is out there, for sure.
Well, and that leads me to my next question. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't have built a facility like this if you didn't feel like there was that demand and the ability to bring people into Cape Girardeau. I'm sure tournaments are on your lists.
Big
And
time.
I know there's a lot of pickleball clubs in other cities. I imagine there'll be some.
We've got so much fun programming scheduled for this that people are going to be really excited. But you talk about tournaments, and the show being about economics of the city. we have a tournament, we'll have 500 to 700 people that come to Cape. And so that's a huge deal for restaurants, for gas stations and convenience stores, for hotels, you name it. And we're excited about that we're going to be an economic driver for the community.
And I know there's the other side. We'll talk about the car park here in a second. But you also mentioned that you have an outdoor area you might be turning into like temporary courts. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got 8.1 acres there, and so that's kind of on the future dream list that
Okay.
we'd like to put some outdoor courts potentially, because we've got space, and but when the weather's beautiful, people like to play outside. But the thing is, when we did our research, there's only about 30 perfect days in Cape Girardeau for pickleball, because you factor in wind really affects the ball. You factor in heat, humidity, cold, rain, whatever it is, and there's really only about 30 perfect days when we started doing our research.
I know you also talked about like birthday parties.
Oh, yeah.
You think about just playing the game itself, but that facility will be able to be used for kind of multi-use for parties, gatherings, that sort of thing.
Totally. We've got a restaurant, so you can order food and drinks, alcoholic drinks, normal drinks, whatever, to your court. There's two different areas too where you could have a party. We've got a mezzanine in a lower level area where birthday party could happen, something like that. But yeah, it's going to be a fun place for people of all ages to go and play pickleball and just to go hang out.
And at this point, if someone wants to become a member, find out more about it, what's the best way to do that?
So the best way is go to www.picklecape.com. And it's got all the membership levels there, all the information about the courts. It's a very well done website. And so we wanted this to not feel localized. We wanted this to look like it was a national brand. So we went after that lifestyle brand with our branding with a local company, Russ Media. And the website was professionally done, and it does not look like it's localized. Because we'd like to take this to other communities the same size as Cape.
Well, like I said, I've been in it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be opening up here soon in December. So congratulations, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Jeff Brune, again, coming up. We've got Heather Davis next on Cape Chronicle.